Have you ever considered the sun, our sun, sitting in the heavens the way it does, how bright it is in its heat? The Bible says, consider the sun, look at him, for he is like a mighty man who runs his race through the tabernacle of the sun. The tabernacle of the sun. And again, God says, consider the sun, for no one escapes his influence. No one escapes his heat. All of heaven is affected by our sun. Consider the stars. You know, a star is like a leaf of light. Consider a maple leaf, or a leaf of an apple tree or a cherry tree. You know, leaves come in all different shapes and stages and colors, sizes. And that's what a star is. It's like a leaf of light. And its light is unique unto itself. We can't see the stem. We're unable to detect its source. Where is the stem? But it clearly has one. And then the stars are surrounded by a treasury of planets and moons and asteroids and suns, shaped specifically to edify or to proclaim the character traits of that particular sun, or excuse me, of that particular star. When you start to look at the tabernacle of the sun, you look at these star galaxies. There are even stars, and a star is just pure light unto itself. That's all a star is. God has set this light, and it doesn't leave its designated spot. Like the Bible says, the star will maintain its specific splendor. It will maintain its specific splendor. But there are some stars that don't even have a treasury. They're just set in the heavens all by themselves. And when you see them, you almost cannot take your eyes off of them. They are so attractive to your eyes. They're just the majesty that is set in the heavens is spectacular. Truly, the heavens and the earth do proclaim the name of God. The Bible goes on to say, look at the stars. Listen to their voice. Though their words are inaudible, they impart knowledge. These modern astronomers, you know, they've done a pretty good job at clouding and muddying the waters as best as they can, you know. But if you want to know, if you're curious, like the Bible says, knock and the door will be open, seek and you will find. There's a generation of men, you know, like in the 18th century, like the 1850s, 1860s, 1880s, 1890s, even into the early 19th century, all the way up to maybe 1940, you know, where men were still, you know, genuinely interested in the truth, and not only discovering the truth, but sharing the knowledges of the earth, you know, the knowledges of the heavens. And they had they have collected a great knowledge, a great bank of knowledges and informations, you know. And some of their knowledges they gained from, you know, the early 17th century and the 16th century. The 16th, you know, 1606, you know, I'm thinking about Shakespeare, you know, or was that 1506? Can't remember when Shakespeare was, you know, the knowledges, you know, from that time frame are collected very well by the men in the 18th century, like I said, the 1860s, all the way up to the early 1940s even. You know, there was still a good collection of books, you know, and if you look and you're curious, you can still find it. But when you look in all the heavens, at all the galaxies, you have to begin to look at our own galaxy and our own special place, how it has been set by God in the heavens. And He's given each one its unique character. When I think of the earth, you know, and I look at it and consider it, you know, I think of Ruth, you know, how all those virgins of the world at that time were collected and gathered and separated and sorted until it was down to a select group of virgins. And Ruth was the only one who took the advice of the king's counselors, the king's advisors. The king had set advisors over these women. She was the only one to take their advice. She ended up becoming the king's wife. The earth, the way it is set, it's like Solomon's apple. You know, Solomon talks about the golden apple set in a setting of silver. I've actually seen a picture someone made that thing. It's on the internet somewhere. Oh man, it's to the eyes fantastic, fantastic. And you consider, when you start considering the earth in our particular galaxy, the planet Venus circles the earth with a 5-petaled flower. It completes this 5 petals every 8 years. It gives the earth special attention. The earth receives a lot of special attention, with rubies like Mars set around us, and Saturn with its rings, and Jupiter with its great watching eye, protector. And then you go back to the Tabernacle of the Sun, and you wonder which of the signs is the greatest of those signs. You know, is it Taurus's fierceness? Is it Auriga's confidence at meeting Taurus's great rush of rage? Or is it glorious Orion? Or maybe it's the flaming river of fire that proceeds from the feet of Orion. Maybe it's that infuriating, squirrely little rabbit that is right below and ready to be crushed below Orion's feet. Or maybe it's Corona the crown, or maybe it's the scales. Everything must be balanced. Everything must be balanced. The wonder and majesty of the Tabernacle of the Sun. And what adorns the Sun? But 7 planets that complement the Earth. They all belong to the Sun. Spectacular. Now, unfortunately, if you want this information and knowledges, you're going to have to go through the modern scientists. You're going to have to go through the modern astronomers. You know, they're holding all the keys, they're guarding all the doors and all the gates, you know. And to get this information is like, it is like wading through a cesspool, a vomitous mass of liquid barf. These modern astronomers will give you a nugget of truth. Modern scientists will give you truth because they know you won't listen to them unless they have a little bit of truth. But when they take the truth and they hide it within pages and pages of a vomitous mass that I call lies. It's a rough road to hoe. It's a worthwhile effort, but you got to have your guard up, man. If you're going to face those people and try to glean the knowledges of the heavens, the understandings and the truth of God, the biggest danger when you go to, and if you have to go through, you know, and wade through their vomitous masses, it's lukewarm. While it stinks and it makes you want to throw up at its disgustingness, you can become accustomed to it because it is lukewarm. You have to be very, very careful that you do not become accustomed to it. Make sure if you go in to that particular river of vileness, come out, get washed up, get cleaned up, take a break. Remember what hot is and remember what cold is. Take a break, take a breath, get some fresh air, and then go back in and wade through it some more and find the truth, grab the truth, pull yourself out. Don't forget, it's lukewarm, and you can be accustomed to it. And if you become accustomed to it, you'll rot. You'll become polluted by all of their lies. Be careful. Make sure you take the refreshing break that you need. My backstop has always been the Bible. Come back to the Bible. Get cleaned up. Take a breath. Take a breather. Take a rest. And then try it again. And then, if you seek, you will find. If you knock, the door will be open. Just remember, they're nothing but pigs. Be very careful. Have your armor on. They're subtle. They're dangerous. Be careful. But the reward for encountering the truth, majesty, splendor, spectacular, jewels of great price, great value. Don't be like those other girls. You know, they didn't take the advice of the king's counselors. They didn't take their advice. Instead, they adorned themselves with gold. They draped themselves with pearls. They draped themselves with so much crap, useless gold, that their own beauty was gone. They forgot who they were. And no one could anymore even see them, because they laid themselves in a pile of gold. The Tabernacle of the Sun.